Welcome to SJ Talks. This is Krishna Manohar Badeti with another new leadership podcast series on SJ Talks. Today we are joined by Mr. SM Mudassir, Vice President of Finance and Accounts at Apollo Home Healthcare. With over 20 years of experience as a chartered accountant, he has led finance transformation, governance, and compliance, shaping healthcare operations with integrity, discipline, and strategic leadership. Thank you so much, sir, for being on the SJ Talks for today.
Thank you, Krishna, for welcoming me here. Thanks for this opportunity. I thought it's a very good platform for me to communicate my views to especially to the young audience which we have for the SJ Talks.
Mr. Mudassir, so you have spent almost 2 decades in finance, right? But if we rewind back to your early as a chartered accountant, so what was something that you believed strongly back then you completely see different today?
Well, very interesting question. So, if I have to date back 20 years before when I qualified, at that time, finance was largely a post-mortem function, which means uh, it was largely seen as a function who prepares books of accounts, closes on a periodical basis, gets it audited, and that's it. But over a period of time, what I have realized personally at my level is it is no more a bookkeeping function. Finance is the gatekeeper. Finance is the enabler for business. Any business, it can be whatever be the business, it is the enabler. So finance equips the management with the backed with the data on they help with the decision making. They equip management with the tools to make the decisions. It can be tool can the intention can be for growth or for anything. So this is the major change which I have feel. So now during this course, I will tell you a few shares. Share, poems. Yes. So in Urdu we call it shares. So share o shairi bolte hain. So I will tell you this, explain you this is one share on this particular context. So हिसाबों से ज़्यादा फैसले मायने रखते हैं. हिसाब मीन्स बुक कीपिंग, मेंटेनिंग द रिकॉर्ड्स. फैसले इज डिसीजन. So as I told you now, finance has evolved as a decision making mechanism, not just as a back end bookkeeping function. So हिसाबों से ज़्यादा फैसले मायने रखते हैं, वरना किताबें तो हर साल बंद हो जाती है. वी से ना वी क्लोज द बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स. सो 31st March वी क्लोज द बुक्स. So this is the essence of this. So finance is an enabler function. Finance will help decision making. That's what we have evolved as a finance.
And I believe I even been into the same background, that's e-commerce background. So that was cost accounting, management accounting, different kinds of accounting where used to be. So I used to be also one of the topper in management accounting.
You yourself?
Yes.
Wow.
I got very good marks in management accounting. Cost accounting was a little less, but management accounting was good marks, I could say that. That was almost 92 what I got.
Oh.
Now, I never realized that I will be getting that huge mark.
You know everything of what I'm talking about: bookkeeping, books closure, financial year. So
That was
it's
commerce
really
background,
evolving.
and that's BCom. But uh, if I'm just going back to my olden days, that was good, sir. So that's a thoughtful reflection. So it shows your perspective, like how has it evolved over time. That's what you meant to be, right? Good, sir. So one kind of a back and that's mostly think of that. So finance leaders often work behind the scenes,
Yes, always.
but while others, probably I can't say who could be, while others take the spotlight, right? So was there a moment in your career so where your work made a critical difference and but very few of your friends or people
Yes,
could actually knew about it?
yes. Very interesting question. So I got reminded of the days during COVID. I'm talking about COVID wave one. I was working with Apollo Home Care, that was the time where our business came down by almost 1/10, and we were in a dilemma what to do now, how to handle the situation. Then the thought process came. Our CEO called for the entire leadership meet to tell this is the situation, what we should do. Then I suggested an idea of shall we do small pay cuts. So then CEO liked data. He told, let me start with it. The highest pay cut I'm ready to take, he told. and then the people down below also took some pay cuts in a graded manner, but we stopped at the leadership level or the support staff level. We didn't do it for the people on the ground or the frontline staff or the manpower. So this is one of the decision which critically shaped the entire organization at that point of time. So my role came in as the next step to it. What we should do now. So we have to develop a product, because I'm talking about COVID, right? So everybody was stationed in their home. So we developed a one product called home support for home isolation for the people who are affected with COVID, who are at home. We developed a product for remote monitoring care, basically. So doctor, nurse, everybody will call and then understand how the situation is. They'll take the vitals and all. So we came up with that particular product during COVID. So here now, to get the business for this particular product, I was involved in tying up with the corporates. When I say corporate, it involves big public sector companies like NTPC, BHEL, Oil India, public sector banks like State Bank of India, Bandhan Bank, then private companies, ICICI Bank also was there. So my job was there to sign up the MOU with all these corporates. So usually this MOU takes months, 2 or 3 months, but during this COVID, uh, we have structured in such a way the entire conversation. I was able to close the MOUs in 2 or 3 days maximum. So in this period, we have signed MOUs with almost 82 corporates across India and served more than 20,000 patients and helped them in fighting with COVID by this remote monitoring product. So my role there was at the back end, as you rightly told. So, but the getting the corporate on board, signing the MOU, this was one of the very important functions which, as you told, not many knew. My CEO knew it, and close colleagues knew it. But at the end, everybody knows that yes, we have supported. So this was a very good experience during COVID, which was a very remarkable decision at the time.
Gotcha. Sometimes the biggest impact happens quietly
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
exactly. True.
Gotcha. As you mentioned about the COVID,
Yes.
that's during COVID, healthcare finance wasn't just about numbers. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
It was about just the survival.
Yes.
So, can you just walk us through one specific day or the decision, which you said that you have some kind of decision, but can you just
Yes.
give us a small brief about that, like how your decision truly tested your leadership, sir?
Yes. So two situations are there actually. The one which I just told you, of taking the pay cuts, helping the organization to sustain, helping our frontline staff to continue their work. They should not be affected. They are at a very low salary. So that was one decision which has really helped the management. And the second was to develop a product. Now we know everybody are in home. No doctor can go home, no nurse can go home, but we have to develop a product and sell that product. So we quickly formulated a product, like 7 days, 14 days, two products we had. Then we did the costing for this. What should be the cost for this? And then at that time, our intention was not to make profits. Intention was to just serve as many people as low as possible. So we developed a product. My involvement there was to do the good, perfect costing for that, understanding how many people are involved, what is my capacity, what is going to be utilization, how many people I already have, how many more I should take, at what cost I should take, what should be my payout. All these things I was involved in working in this, and we developed a product which was very competitive. At that time, no other player launched this product. Apollo Home Care was one of the first company to launch this product. After that, so many hospitals, so many other companies also launched the product at a similar range. So my contribution was on this both the front in setting up the MOUs with the corporates, developing the product with the proper costing and the proper pricing, because we don't have online market for it. It was largely through corporates, but later on we started spending online as well. But it was very good experience which helped us, for me personally, to grow within the organization and to deliver beyond my comfort zone. It helped me from that point of view, and of course it helped the organization. And at the end of 2 years, COVID was actually our most profitable year.
Looks like that's a powerful thing. That's a
Yes.
COVID thing. So
Yes.
COVID truly tested your leadership in different ways, I believe,
Yes.
but
Yes.
alone couldn't be captured.
True.
One question for you, Mudassir. Like you have worked across corporates, hospitals, and foundations, right? So, was there a phase where you felt out of depth, and how did you regain the control on this?
Well, I worked in multiple sectors. Each sector gave me good understanding, good knowledge. It gave me opportunity to learn, unlearn, and again relearn at every opportunity. For example, I started my career with a public sector in Bangalore. I worked there for 3 years. It was a total first experience, and the experience was totally out of the blue for me. I had to work with the people who are 20 years older than me, who are on the verge of retirement. So that gave me good experience to learn from the people who are older to you. Then I came back to Hyderabad, work in the hospital industry. It gave me once again a very good experience of working how the clinicians work, how to integrate operational metrics with financial metrics, and how to integrate this ultimately with the clinical efficiency. I got that understanding to work on this. Like, we always talk about finance KPIs, but how do this finance KPIs marry with operational or clinical KPIs? Ultimately, seeking that patient comfort is taken care, quality of patient care is not compromised. So that hospital industry gave me that experience. Then I worked with IT sector in Satyam. So while I was working there, this Ramaling Raju episode happened. Everybody started seeing me, oh, you are working in Satyam, as if I have done the fraud. So that was again a good phase. The learning was on how to manage this kind of negative situation around you, where you are no more involved in that. You were never involved in that. So that was the experience. Then I worked in NGO sector, Dr. Reddy's. That was again totally different, because so far the focus was on profit. Here the focus was on how are we impacting the society. The one who has given the money, are we fulfilling the requirement of that? So they've given the money for creating livelihoods. Are we creating the livelihoods? After creating that livelihood, after training for that person, am I placing them? After placing them, is he continuing there the job? So that was our responsibility. That gave me another new dimension of working. Then since now almost 11 years, I'm working now with Apollo Home Care. This gave me a totally different experience. We have scaled. When I joined, Apollo Home Care just started. From one city, we have scaled to 13 cities at one point of time. From almost 1 crore turnover, so we are now at 150 200 crore run rate basis turnover. So it has given me immense potential to grow within the organization, to grow in my skills, to grow in my capabilities. So all in all, it was a good experience, and each experience, each company gave me good working.
That's a good point, sir. So feeling out of depth and regaining control shows your resilience,
Yes.
real resilience. I could say that. Say that a long-standing financial practice that everyone else accepted, and what happened next.
Yes. So this is also a very interesting question. I will take you back to my Dr. D's foundation days. So when I joined that organization, now you know the concept books closure, right? So the practice there was to close the books at an annual basis after 60 days from the end of the year, which means by 31st March, if you're closing the year, by entire May, April and May will go in finalizing the accounts. By June, they used to complete the audit, and by end of June, it is to be audited. So which means almost 3 months are gone by the time we close the books and get it audited when I joined. So then what I realized is we are taking too much time for books closure. It cannot be like this. And then subsequently, incidentally, we also got a mandate from the corporate that you should now close books on quarterly basis, not only on annual basis.
Okay.
So this gave me an opportunity to rethink on the processes. So I called for a meeting for all the heads of the departments, wherever we have dependency, right? We have dependency with HR, with the supply chain, with the learning development team. So we called for a meeting and told them, see, this is what the process we have been doing. But now we have a mandate to close the books on quarterly basis, and that too 20 days from the end of the quarter. So which means April, May, June quarter I have to close by 20th July. So then I called my own team and told them this is the mandate what we have. Now let's not go for quarterly closing. Let's aim for monthly closing. I took them into confidence by saying this: if we close it on monthly basis, it will help us in quick quarterly closing. And if we do on time quarterly basis, our annual closing will not take 60 days of time. We can do it much faster days. So with this, we started with the timeline that we'll close the books on monthly basis from within 10 days from the end of the quarter. So first reaction of everybody was no, it's impossible. But when we broken the task into small parts, what each person in the team has to do, what payroll has to do, what MIS person has to do, what my procurement person has to do. When I broke on the task, it was so simple. Everybody also, first, the one who said impossible, he says, yes, sir, what you told is right. We can actually do it. And we made it happen. So we closed the books on a monthly basis within 10 days, quarterly basis within 20 days, on annual basis within 25 days we could close in a matter of 2 cycles.
It's that's interesting. Challenging old practices takes courage,
Yes.
and that could change. I could say that can change everything.
Yes, it helped us.
That's not an easy task.
Yes.
So, you have led, I mean, it's like a finance for multi cities, right? So, for operations. So,
Yes.
how do you ensure discipline and control without slowing down the business growth?
Yes. So this is very right question, because right, this is what I did in Apollo Home Care. As I told you, when I joined, it was in just one city. We scaled down to 13 cities at one point of time. So we could do only by making standard processes. So the process setting was centralized, execution was decentralized, and everybody used to follow the same process, be it in terms of doing the sales, be in terms of bookkeeping. My building team follows the same mechanism. The way we record the sales, the way we put it in our MIS, it's all same. So we can compare city to city, we can compare budget versus actual for all the locations in exactly the same way. So, to answer your question, it's very simple. If we standardize the process, make a protocol which is driven across the organization, across the cities, irrespective of the geography wherever we are, irrespective of the person where we are, we can do it. Because we should be dependent on process, not on people. If we are dependent on people, it will break. So we have to set the process in such a way that any person who is coming and joining, be it any city, they will just simply follow the process. It's like a rule book. They have to just implement it, and we made it happen. It was a very good exercise, and then it's a successful exercise, and we have been implementing this, and it is right now running.
It's a, looks like a discipline with growth.
Yes,
It is
exactly.
tough.
Yes.
It's a tough really
Yes.
to strike the situation.
But it was uh, we thought initially it will be difficult, but it was really practical, and we made it happen.
That's it. There's just want to ask you something important. There's always a tension between cost control and patient care in healthcare, right? That's always. How do you personally navigate these decisions where financial efficiency and human impact collide?
Yeah, this is a little tricky question, I will say. Why it's tricky? Because you are saying patient is there here. So when patient is there, we cannot compromise on the quality. So and let's say I want to implement a cost optimization exercise. So there is, let's say, some process where there is some wastage of cost which is happening. So if I have to do this exercise, let's say with the clinician, so first I will get their buy-in. I will take them into confidence. I'll call them and explain the current process, what is happening in this particular situation, and I will tell him, I will assure him that we are not going to compromise on the patient safety. We are not going to compromise on the quality of the care. That is very important from clinician point of view. So if I satisfy this and take his buy-in, collision will become collaboration. Initially you told, na, there's a collision between clinician and finance because he is going to reduce. So this collision will become collaboration. That's what we have experienced here. Every time any new initiative which we are doing, there will be some resistance at every end. It can be the clinician, it can be at my own team, it can be from the management side. But once we align themselves with the thought process, and the important thing is we have to explain them why are we doing this, what is in it for me. That's the question which anybody will ask. If I explain him what is in for him, for example, for a clinician, I am saying your clinical quality is not compromised, then he will get aligned. That's what we have implemented, and this is the reality, and it's happening.
Gotcha. And that's important because the finance and patient care must always walk hand in hand.
Hand in hand. Yes, yes, yes.
So probably that's another one. That's your automation. That's where I went through that. You also implemented some kind of automation. So
Yes.
you have implemented automation and process improvements, right? So, but was there a moment where technology itself like didn't work as expected? And what exactly that teach you?
Yes, yes. So, see, the one thing which is constant in life is change, and every change will come with resistance. It's a human tendency. Every day you are sitting like this. If I suddenly ask you, please, Krishna, don't sit like this, you have to sit facing wall. You will first resist. No, why? I am comfortable in this. Will you not say you are using mic? I will say no. Let us use collar mic. You will first say no. You will try to justify your stand, right? But if I tell it is going to increase your efficiency, for example, our cameraman says, so let us put collar mics, it will improve the quality of our video and the audience will like it more, then you will immediately understand it. Okay, so let's try, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is any automation exercise, first we have to understand what is the pain point of the other person. If I'm addressing his pain point, then he will get enrolled with my thought process, and then automation will succeed. That is what we have done. We are currently in the process of automation. This is what we are doing. We got in touch with each and every staff. We told them today, let's say you're spending 5 minutes in doing, let's say, one transaction. If I'm saying it is reducing to 2.5 minutes, which means 50% of efficiency we are increasing in your output. 8 hours today you are working, let's say you can complete the same task in 4 hours. So balance 4 hours you can focus on MIS, any analytics works or any analysis. He'll be happy to do that. So that is what our learning is on automation is. We have to enroll the person in our thought process, get his confidence, get his buy-in, and improve his efficiency. We have to address his pain point. Then automation is going to be a successful task. That's what we have implemented here.
That's I really appreciate the answer you gave me. So technology setbacks often teach lessons also.
Yes,
So
yes,
that success alone can't, right?
true. Lot of lessons it will teach us.
Of course. So and also you worked closely with CEOs and boards, right? So handling pressure at a highest level where you would not even have imagined it.
Yes.
What's something leaders expect from a finance head that most people don't even realize it?
Clarity. That's the only thing any board or CEO will expect. Clarity in thought, clarity in numbers, help in decision making backed by data. So let's say if CEO asks some suggestion, I have to give my answer which should be backed by clear data points. And I should give solid reasoning along with the proof. So this is the first and foremost thing. Second, any board or any management from the finance, what they want is depth in their subject. Am I clear in the concepts? If let's say I am saying there is a huge dip in sales for one city, am I able to explain the reason from the finance? So I have to because I have access for multiple things. I will see the ratios, I will see operational metrics, and depending on it, I will come back and say yes, this is the reason for this, and I'm sure because of this data. So clarity is the most important thing which any finance guy should give to the management, and the data backed decisions.
That's a valuable answer. So boardroom expectations are often very different.
Yes, yes.
From where other people or it could be other people would imagine it. So, Mr. Mudassir, so integrity is a word often used very lightly, right? So, but in your journey, was there a situation where choosing integrity came at a very real cost?
Right. So 2 words I'm catching from your question: integrity and cost. So my answer is, in my journey, I never treat integrity as a cost. It's an investment.
Okay.
If I'm highly integrated person, then it's an investment in my career. So if I am truthful, because being a finance person, we have so much data which is confidential. It can be related with customers, it can be related with my own staff, higher management. If I am true to the organization, I have high level of integrity, then it is very important for me to maintain that integrity at any cost. As you've told, at any cost I should not say, because if I'm maintaining the integrity, I'm investing in myself, in my career, because I'm subject to audit by various people, internal auditors, statutory auditors, or my corporate office. Anybody can ask me anything. So if I'm truthful, nothing will happen. That's why I'm saying integrity is not a cost, it's an investment in my own career, which will give fruits for so many years which follows.
That's it. That's an inspiring one. So choosing integrity, even at a cost, proves
Yes.
the, like, I could see the leadership in you.
Yeah.
Good, sir. So probably these questions relating to the young professionals, which I just drafted out
Yes.
these two questions for you. So when you look at young professionals who would like to make a career in the finance today, so what's one habit you feel they are not building enough despite all the knowledge they have it?
Yeah. So I will answer you with these two shares. Okay. So I will translate it anyways. So I have to address this to the young professionals you told, right? So the share goes like this. हौसला रख, हौसला is be courage, have courage, uh, be positive. So हौसला रख, वो मंजर भी आएगा. मंजर इज व्यू, बेसिक ट्रांसलेट एग्जैक्ट वर्ड फॉर मंजर इज व्यू. हौसला रख, वो मंजर भी आएगा. प्यासे के पास दरिया आएगा. So pyasa is the one who is thirsty. I am saying river will come to thirsty. The person should not go to the river. You should have that much confidence, that much skills in yourself. You should be that much, I should say, a confident person. That many skills you should have, that many extracurricular activities you should do. So हौसला रख, वो मंजर भी आएगा. प्यासे के पास समुंदर आएगा. Understood the line? So the next line is very important line. हौसला रख, वो मंजर भी आएगा. प्यासे के पास समुंदर भी आएगा. ऐ मंजिल के मुसाफिर, ऐ मंजिल के मुसाफिर, मतलब यू आर ट्रैवलर राइट ऑन द जर्नी. ऐ मंजिल के मुसाफिर, कामयाबी तुझे मिलेगी और उसका मज़ा भी आएगा. सो विच मीन्स इफ यू आर हैविंग confidence on you, if you are able a person, we are saying you will get the success, and you will not only get the success, you will enjoy the success, right? So that's the first share for you. The second one is even more interesting. The second one share is for the young people. It's like this. भूल जा अपने बीते कल को, भूल जा अपने बीते कल को, बस खुद पर विश्वास रख. So let's say you are doing graduation, you completed 2 years. Forget about, you could not do anything except going to college, you have not done anything, forget about it. But you still have 1 year, right? So have confidence on you, what you can do in this 1 year. So भूल जा अपने बीते कल को, विश्वास रख अपने आप पर, right? So forget about the past. भूल जा अपने बीते कल को, विश्वास रख अपने आप पर. तेरा आने वाला कल, the tomorrow which is coming. So भूल जा अपने पीते कल को, खुद पर विश्वास रख. तेरा आने वाला कर खुद ब खुद बदलेगा. It will change automatically. How? That's the crux here. So भूल जा अपने बीते कल को, भूल जा अपने बीते कल को, खुद पर विश्वास रख. तेरा आने वाला कर खुद ब खुद बदलेगा. बस तू मेहनत कर अपने आज पर. So if you work today, so in the same example, 2 years you have not done anything, but you work now. In this 1 year is with you. So past is history, future is mystery, but today it's with you. So work today. See what most you can do, what else you can do, how many new skills you can take, what more, because nowadays AI is doing everything. So how can I learn more AI? Let's say the people are spending time on watching the reels. They have to think, can I make a reel? Can I do editing in the reel? Can I prepare the videos? Can I do subtitling? So many things they can learn. And again, they can use AI and learn so many things. So this is the two messages which I have for the young audience who is watching us.
Rather than me asking you once more, so that's pretty understandable by everyone. So me thought of, let me ask you one more time, but you explained me twice and thrice where some people could not even understand. That's my thought itself, like asking you one more time, but you never give me a chance. You never give me a chance.
Because I wanted the people to understand the crux of it. That's the message, right? You asked what's the message for the, this is the message. So they have to concentrate on today, present.
Thank you so much for giving such kind of a explanation what has to be done. So like I could say that habits often matter than knowledge, right? So that's in the long run, this would be the best. Habits are always the best. This could be my last question for the youth, Mudassir. So, if you had to define entire career in one story, not achievements, what I said, but a moment that represents who you are a leader, but what that story would be.
Yeah, so I will answer this with once again in a share. That is very interesting share that will just tell my entire journey, right? सो सफ़र मेरा कामयाबी का नहीं था. सफ़र मेरा कामयाबी, माई जर्नी वॉज नेवर अबाउट टाइटल, डेजिग्नेशन, पोजिशन. इट वॉज नेवर ऑन दैट. तो सफ़र मेरा कामयाबी का नहीं था. सफ़र मेरा जिम्मेदारी पूरा करने का था. जिम्मेदारी इज़ रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, अकाउंटेबिलिटी. आई एम रेस्पॉन्सिबल टू माई पेरेंट्स एज ए सन. आई एम रेस्पॉन्सिबल टू माई wife as a husband, to my sisters as a brother, to my children, my own children as a father. I'm responsible in that. Then accountability is also important, right? At workplace, am I accountable to my board of directors? Am I responsible and accountable to my shareholders? Am I accountable to my colleagues, the teammates, my own team? And last but not least, to my customers. So सफ़र मेरा कामयाबी का नहीं था, ये तो जिम्मेदारियां समझने का था. That's what the line says.
That's a wonderful story, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the SC Talks and sharing your experience, the finance related, and as well as the kind of the situations and the mainly that's relating. That's the shairis, which I really liked it. So, and for the youth, that was an insightful conversation with Mr. SM Mudassir Mehdi, whose journey shows how a finance leadership can drive resilience and growth in healthcare. His focus on governance, compliance, and innovation highlights the evolving role of finance leaders. Thank you so much for joining SJ Talks and listening to us. Stay tuned for more inspiring leadership stories going ahead. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.